She would have loved to stand beside the sea and to let the waves wash over her toes, but it was too far away for her wish to be granted. So she had to content herself with the wide, dry land that she lived in, which had a lot of amazing things to see anyway. There was the Kalahari Desert, a great stretch of dry grass and thorn trees that went on and on into the distance, further than any eye can see. Then there was the great river in the north, which flowed the wrong way, not into the ocean as rivers usually do, but back into the heart of Africa. When it reached the sands of the Kalahari, it drained away, just like water disappears down the plug hole of a bath. But most exciting, of course, were the wild animals. There were many of these in Botswana: lions, elephants, leopards, ostriches, monkeys. The list goes on and on. Precious had not seen all of these animals, but she had heard about most of them. Her father, a kind man whose name was Obed, had often spoken about them, and she loved the tales he told. "Tell me about the time you were nearly eaten by a lion," she would ask, and Obed, who had told her that story perhaps 100 times before, would tell her again, and it was every bit as exciting each time he told it. "I was quite young then," he began. "How young?" asked Precious. "About 18, I think," he said. "It was just before I went off to work in the gold mines. I went up north to see my uncle, who lived way out in the bush, very far from everywhere." "Did anybody else live there?" asked Precious. She was always asking questions, which was a sign that she might become a detective later on. Many people who ask lots of questions become detectives, because that is what detectives have to do. "It was a very small village," said Obed. "It was just a few huts, really, and a fenced place where they kept the cattle. They had this fence, you see, which protected the cattle from the lions at night." As you can imagine, this fence had to be quite strong. You cannot keep lions out with a fence that is no more than a few strands of wire. That is hopeless when it comes to lions. They would just knock down such a fence with a single blow of their paw. A proper lion fence has to be made of strong poles from the trunks of trees, the good, solid lion fence.